Good evening. This is Pat, and welcome to Pat's Card Corner. And I almost said welcome to Take Two Tuesday, but it's not Tuesday, and I'm not taking two. So this is now Thursday, and I am changing normally I've been doing Facebook Live videos on Tuesday nights, and I'm changing it to Thursday for the time being. So had a few changes coming around in my life. My mother is moving in with us, so she's still active doing things, and one of the things she wants to do is on a Tuesday night, so I'm trying to accommodate that, and all is good. So I'm trying to think of a new name to call the Thursday night. And right now, if you saw my post earlier today, it said Craft with Pat, but I might change that to someone's suggestion, and that was Thursday Therapy, because crafting is like therapy. It makes you feel good, it gives you something to do, you're creative, can relieve stress. Actually, it's a proven fact that crafting does relieve stress, so if I do this every day, I'll be stress-free forever. It'd be great. So if you're joining me tonight, please say hello. Let me know that you're here, and we're going to get started. So tonight we are making a card with this stamp set. This is called Turtle Friends, and it's one of the new sets that is in the annual catalog. It is very cute. It's got this nice, cute little turtle. He has his shell. There's two little baby turtles and little shells, a little bird. It's got some happy birthday things on it. You could use it for a baby. It says, hello, little one. Just a fun little card. So, and it also has a punch. So this makes it a super great thing to have if you don't have a die cutting machine and you don't want to fussy cut this little cute little turtle over here. You just put them right in there and cut them right out, and it's be great. So this is the stamp set I'm going to use tonight. I am going to set it aside just for a minute, and we're going to go over what supplies you need to make our mystery card tonight. So this is a fun fold card, so we are going to do a little scoring on two of the pieces, and the rest then we're just going to kind of put it together and see where we go. So I'm going to move these kind of out of the way a little bit. There's a lot of pieces to this card, but don't let that scare you, because it's really very easy. So first off, you're going to need a piece of basic white thick cardstock, and that is 8.5 by 5.5. And if I flip it over, oh, there's my little note right there. I'm going to maybe move it up to the top because we're going to put other pieces on there. You will also need another piece of basic white thick cardstock, and this piece is 6 by 4. You're going to put that right there. You'll need 2 more pieces, and this is just a regular Whisper White cardstock. This is thinner. These are thicker because they're part of our card, so we want it to be a little sturdier. And one of these we're going to be, actually both of these we're going to be stamping on. So one piece is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8, and when I cut this piece, I had there's a little ink right there, but if I flip it over, no one will know. So we're going to be stamping on the other side. So I'm going to actually flip my paper around so you can see it. So this is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. So when I give you measurements, just as a reminder, I am giving you the horizontal measurement first, and then the vertical measurement second. So, oh, hi Irene, how are you? So, yeah, Irene called me right as I was getting on. I said, I can't come right now, can't talk. So there she is. And then the other piece of Whisper White that you're going to, not Whisper White, Basic White that you're going to need is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So it's just a little bit bigger than the other one. Not much, just a little. Okay, now you're going to need some designer series paper. And the paper that I chose is actually part of the Ice Cream Corner designer series paper. There's no ice cream on these pieces, but I don't have the package of paper with me, but if you look at that paper there, it has lots of ice cream cones and popsicles and like sugar cone ice cream cones, and then the regular kind. So just a lot of fun ice cream scoops. But it also, on the reverse side, it has a lot of fun paper. There's this one that has little like wavy lines on it. There's some that have, I guess you call them like little splotches on them. There's stripes, there's dots, just all kinds of fun paper. So it really makes a great set of paper to have, even if you're not doing ice cream themed things, even though it's summertime. You can use it to make other cards. So that's what we're doing tonight. So this piece is, I'm gonna flip this around, is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So we have a lot of odd measurements in this card, but so you're going to be tested on your 1/8 and 1/4 little measurements to see how you do. This is from the same, obviously the same pattern, and this piece is 1 3/4 by 5 1/8. And then you're going to need another piece that's the same size but a different pattern. So this pattern, the back side, just happens to coordinate with the front side. So that's the paper that I used. So this piece is also 1 3/4 by 5 1/8. So we have those three pieces of designer series paper. Now you're also going to need some coordinating cardstock. And this is Calypso Coral, which is one of the coordinating colors in this cardstock. So you'll need a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. You will need a piece that is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then you're going to need two pieces that are 1 7/8. I'm going to scoot it over so you can see. 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to leave those pieces up there just for a second so that you can kind of get it all in. I know it's a lot, but it'll be fun. But you also will need some scrap pieces of Whisper White to do a little bit of stamping on, because we are going to stamp this turtle and punch him out. So you will need something to do just a little bit, just scraps that you have. If you're using the same stamp set. You can also make this card, if you have the ice cream set, the ice cream stamp set, you can do the same thing with this card. It'll just look a little different on the front. So I could show you the card, but I think it'll be more fun to not show you quite yet and then show you later. So I had to get out my little scoring directions so I know what we're going to do. So hopefully either you've taken a screenshot or you're going to come back and watch this later. So yep, and I'm going to move these out of the way, and we're going to do a little bit of scoring on the two pieces of basic white that are the thick cardstock. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. And a lot of these are going to be layered on top of each other, which makes it really easy, so don't be scared off by all the stuff. Okay, so you're going to need your trimmer. And I got one of the dimensional things hanging out there. Okay, so we're going to take the 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 piece, and we're going to score it, not cut. So I'm moving my cutting blade out of the way. We're going to score it on the long side. So we're going to score it at 2 inches. We're going to put our paper here. We're going to score it at 2 inches. And nope, you know what? I think I just did that wrong. Hold on. Wait just a second. Because I think I did this when I was making it the first time and realized I did it wrong, so then I had to do it again. And I might have just told you the wrong measurement, and I did. So I'm going to score it again, and it'll be fine. We're going to score it at 2 1/8 inches. So our other score line will just be covered up by our paper, so it will work perfectly fine, but we're scoring it at 2 1/8, not 2, 2 1/8. I told you this was going to be a challenging card for scoring, and I was right. So, and now we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So, which is scoring it in half. So basically we scored it in half, and then we scored the other one in half at 2 1/8. So the other piece we're going to take, which is 6 by 4, we're also going to score this on the long side. Move that out of the way, and we're going to score this one at 3 inches. So we're scoring this one right in half. Okay, and that is all the scoring we're going to do. I'm going to move that out of the way. Put it on the floor here so I don't lose it. Okay, now we're going to get out our bone folder, and we're going to crease these really good. So this, we're just going to fold this one in half. Just like that. And this one, we're going to fold it in half on the 4 1/4 inch score line. And then if you accidentally scored like me, we are going to score this on the 2 1/4, or not 2 1/4, 2 1/8 inch score line. So just make sure you get the right one. And we're going to score this one the other direction. So it's going to be, so it's going to open like that. I am just going to burnish this really good. And now we have our card. And actually by burnishing it, it's kind of flattened out the mistake I made when I accidentally scored it in the wrong place. So just remember, 2 1/8, 4 1/2. Okay, so now we're going to start putting together our other pieces. So we're going to set this aside just for a minute, and we're going to bring in all these pieces. The white pieces we're going to set aside, and we are going to be using our designer series paper, and we're actually going to be attaching them to some of our cardstock pieces. This piece that is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, we're going to set this one aside with our white pieces, and we're just going to be gluing these. So this large piece is going to, which is, I took the thing off of it, I believe it is, what size are we? 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. We are going to just glue this to the large piece of Calypso Coral cardstock, and I'm just going to get my glue and do that. And hopefully my glue will come out today. It's getting near the end, so you might see me shaking it a lot because I want to get every drop out of my bottle. So we're just going to glue that right there. And when you are using the multi-purpose liquid glue, you can kind of slide it around a little so that you get it even, an even border on all sides. And then we're also going to, these pieces, we're going to attach one of them to one piece and the other to the other. So make sure that you have the different sides up so you aren't doing the same one. I might see which one I like better. I like that one better. So I am going to use this one. All right. And while I'm gluing, I'm just going to flip this one over. Since I have my glue out, might as well do that. And then we're going to attach this one here. And this one here. Okay. So if you're just silently watching me, I hope you're enjoying it. I do love it when people comment and talk to me though, so. All right, so now we're going to bring back in the large base cardstock, and this piece is going to go right here, what you would think is in the middle. So we're going to put that down right there. So we're just going to glue that down. And then the other two pieces, I think you can kind of guess where they're going to go. They are going to go on this piece, the folded piece right there. So we're just gonna, I don't think there's an upside down. I'm gonna put it this way. I don't think there's a right side and a wrong side or an upside or a downside to this paper. I think it's kind of all the same. There we go. This piece is going to go here, and then this piece is going to go here. So the pieces that are matching are going to be, when you close the card, they will be together, and then the other piece, whoop, there it is, will be on the inside. So we're just going to glue those down. There's one. And as you can see, it's going to hide where I accidentally scored. So you aren't going to see that at all. So even if you make a mistake, you just keep going. Hey, Margaret. So Margaret was commenting on another card that I made earlier today, or posted earlier today on my blog. And if you go to my jumpingintostamping.com, you'll see it there. And I'm going to put this so that my looks like little scallops. And it's using this same set. And I actually use this same set of papers, but they have another paper in it that's like this, but it is greens and blues. So I might show that to you when we're done. I'll have to go grab it from wherever I put it. I know it's here somewhere. Okay, so now we have, this is our card, and now we're going to work on the other part of our card. We're going to do just a little bit of stamping. And I have to figure out, hold on, which one's going to go where. That's the big one. Okay, so the one that we're going to stamp on is this one that is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. And I'm going to move that out of the way. And I am using this Turtle Friends, and I'm going to use the Happy Birthday sentiment on there. I'm going to just pull that off. I don't know if anybody else is. Yeah, see, I have little green turtles in here. I was practicing for my other card. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I save all those ones. So here's one that I stamped earlier and some other little ones. I don't know if anybody else does that and saves them. I just put them inside the case for the next time that I'm going to be making a card. So let's put this Happy Birthday on here. I am going to stamp that in Calypso Coral ink. So if you're following along and have the same paper, because some of you might, that is what I'm going to use. Just lining up my stamp so it'll actually kind of hopefully be straight. And we're going to just ink it up. And just going to put this kind of at the top here. There we go. That's fairly straight, not too bad. All right. And then I'm going to just close this up for a minute, and I'm going to move this off to the side. And I am going to do a little stamping with the turtles. And so I'm going to move these extra pieces out of the way here because they're going to get in the way. I should have taken my stamps off the case earlier, but I didn't. I'm going to take this off. That's a little protective sheet on there. So we are going to use this turtle. You can see he's kind of like an outline of a turtle. So I'm just going to flip him upside down and put my stamp on it. We are going to stamp him in Memento, black Memento, Tuxedo Black. And then here's his little shell. Nope, not sure if you can see that or if that'll show up. You can kind of see it on there. we are going to do that too. So I'm gonna put that on a block. We're also going to be stamping one of the little turtles. It's a teeny tiny little turtle. See, he's gonna go, so they have two of them, one goes each direction, and I want the one that is going the same direction as my big one, so I want that one. And there also is another little piece that is the little turtle shell. I'll put him here so you can see. Hopefully you can see that. So we're gonna put that little shell on a block, and this tiny little guy. Isn't he cute? These turtles are a lot of fun. I think he's going there. Is he going the wrong way? Yep, he's going the wrong way. We want the other one, I believe. We want this one. I had to switch because I want him to be facing this. I want him to be facing the same direction once they're stamped and cut. So I think that'll. Nope, that's the wrong one. I forgot I turned this one right side up. If he's stamped, he's going that way. So I want the stamped one to be going the same direction. So we're going to put the other little one on. And there is a little party hat. Tiny little party hat. I'm going to throw that over there. And we're going to stamp that one also. And we are going to do a little bit of fussy cutting because those, even though I can punch the big turtle, I can't punch the other ones because the punch only has the turtle on it. So we will be doing just a little bit of fussy cutting. And this is the Memento black ink. So I'm just going to ink up my turtle. And you're going to see how cute he is. We are going to do just a little bit of coloring because, you know, turtles will look better that way. And then this is the smaller turtle. So we're going to stamp him down here. And actually I think we're going to stamp the little hat on the same piece, just to show you that you can get all of them on one piece of paper. Okay, so I'm going to set those stamps aside because I've used those, and now we're going to stamp their little turtle shells. So where's my ink? There it is. I'm going to stamp one of them in Calypso Coral. That's going to be the big one, the big turtle. I'm just going to ink that up, and because you can see through these stamps, you can place it right on the shell part right here where you want. You can also, which is also a lot of fun, trying to see if I can try not to get my head in the camera here. You can stamp this turtle on a piece of designer series paper and then just cut out the shell and put it on top. So you could make a little shell out of designer series paper, and I'll show you what I mean because I actually have one from when I was playing around with it earlier. So this is a piece of designer series paper from this same set, and if you wanted, you could cut a piece of designer series paper and then just put them on your turtle like that. So you wouldn't have to stamp if you didn't want to. You could just use a little bit of designer series paper. So just another idea for you. And then I'm going to stamp this little guy right here. I'm going to stamp his shell in Daffodil Delight. So this card has a little bit of yellow in it. You can kind of see. Let me move this out of the way before I get ink everywhere. I'm dangerous with ink sometimes. So we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to kind of line it up where you can see over the top. Hopefully I got it in the right spot. And there we go. And there's the little guy. So we are just going to do just a tad bit of coloring, not very much. And I am going to use Stampin' Blends markers. So the colors I chose were Daffodil Delight, because we need to do our little hat, some Calypso Coral, and I've labeled mine very big because I like to see what I'm making. And then these are Crumb Cake. Put them this way so you can see. And that's what I'm going to color his his neck and his legs are. You know, I'm not sure what color turtles are really. So, hi Laura Lee. So, I'm just gonna kind of, this is the skinny end. So I'm just gonna kind of trace around a little bit. Get his tail in there. So Laura Lee was the one that suggested that maybe we call this Therapy Thursday. I'm actually thinking that's a good idea. I kind of like that because this is kind of therapy for me. If I'm, I don't know about you, but if I'm stressed or something, making cards just kind of makes me feel better. So we're just going to do a little bit of coloring, and so this is the bigger end, and so I'm just kind of swirling it. There's no kind of rhyme or reason for what I'm doing. I am going to be careful around his eye because I don't want him to have a brown eye. I want his eye to stay white. So we're just kind of coloring him in a little bit. And then this little guy over here. This one I'm going to have to do a little fussy cutting, but it doesn't take very long. It's pretty easy. It's kind of straight lines or round lines. So, and then we're going to do a little coloring on his hat, on this little birthday hat, because we want that hat to be fun too. And I think we'll color that one. And then, come out. I'm going to use the lighter one. Maybe put a little up here. And do a little bit with the Daffodil Delight. Put a little bit of that in here too. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to move those out of the way, move my stamp out of the way, and we're just going to punch this out. So I try and have a piece that is long enough that I can hold it, so I get it in there correctly. And I'm actually holding it with my opposite hand, but I think this is going to work. And there you go. Quick and easy. And now we're going to do just a little bit of fussy cutting because unfortunately they didn't make the punch that's going to cut these out. So I'm just going to kind of cut around them real quick. And I don't know if you can see this. I forget sometimes that I actually have to have my hands in the camera. So if I am off the camera and do something, just kind of holler at me. I can't see what you're doing. So I do try to move the paper and not my scissors when I'm cutting, because I just think it kind of, you get a better cut and it doesn't look as jagged, and it's easier to do things that are kind of round if you're moving the paper and not your scissors. So also try and leave just a little bit of white, because you can see there's a little bit of white when you punch. If you're die cutting, you'll also notice that there's just a little bit of white. Just kind of gives it a little border. So you don't want a lot, you just kind of want a little. And now it's such a scrap here. Make sure I don't cut his legs off. That would not be good. And then we're just going to cut the little hat out also. That's super easy because it's pretty much straight lines. So, right, there's my little turtle. So we're getting there. So I've only showed you part of the fun fold. There's another part to it too that makes it even more fun. You might have guessed already, since we do have another little kind of card piece on there. But I haven't showed you where it goes yet, so might still be a little bit of a mystery. So cut that off, move that out of the way. Then we're just gonna cut this real quick. And there we have one hat. So now we're going to bring this back. Oh, I got ink on there, but guess what? My turtle's going to go over top of that. So it won't matter. There we go. So I am going to put these turtles on here. We're going to put him on his back, and then we're going to put his little hat on like that. I am going to put these all on dimensionals when I attach them, so let's just do that. As soon as I find my dimensionals here, I am going to put one behind his head. So this is the big turtle, and put one on his shell. We're just going to be wild with our dimensionals tonight. This little guy is going to get one right on top of his shell, and then these are the larger dimensionals. There's also smaller ones, so I'm going to use the smaller one for the hat, and believe it or not, it actually does fit. You can see how small it is. It actually does fit right onto the hat without hanging over. So there you go. You can kind of see it on there. And I think I'm also going to put a couple little ones on his feet, just to kind of make him steady. You know, slow and steady wins the race. Isn't that, I think that's from the Tortoise and the Hare fairy tale. So we're going to make him steady by putting lots of dimensionals on him. So we're just going to flip him over, and he is going to hide that little, where I've got a little bit of ink on there. Then this is the small one. We're just going to put him like he's having a piggyback ride with his dad or his mom. Maybe mom, since she's got orange on. That might be, she might be more of a mom. And I'm going to put the little hat kind of sitting on their head. There we go. So that is that piece. So now we are going to bring back our 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 piece of Calypso coral, and this piece is going to go right on there, just like that. So we're just going to put a little glue on there. Shake my glue up a little bit. This is great for your arm muscles when you have to shake your glue. I feel like it's some kind of exercise, like, you know, gonna build up the strength in my arms by doing that. And we're just gonna put that on just like that. Okay. And we are going to do one little bit of stamping on this piece, and this one is going to be, there's one more stamp in here that I didn't pull off before, and it is this one right here that says it's time to celebrate. Haha, little pun there. So we are going to just stamp that right on here. As soon as I put it on a block, we will. So just flip that over. And I am going to also stamp this in the Calypso coral, just like I stamped some of the other things. So we're just going to stamp it up, and we're going to put it right kind of a little bit at the top, just like that. And now we're ready to finish putting together our card, and we're going to be done, and you're going to see what fun it is. So this is the other piece of basic white thick cardstock we had. It was 6 by 3, or 6 by 4, excuse me, 6 by 4, and we scored it at 3. But instead of it opening this way, it's going to open backwards this way. So this piece right here is going to go on this way, so backwards. So the fold is on your right, not on your left. So a little bit different. So I'm just going to put a little glue on here. And like I said, this is going to go backwards. Like this. This piece is going to go inside. You could just stamp on the inside, but I just think it makes it look a little fancier if you have an extra little piece of white in there. And the other reason is if you mess it up, you can put another piece in. If you mess up this, then you got to kind of start all over. So I do like having this extra piece in my cards, even if it's a white card. I do put, because you know, we do this for cards that are darker colored all the time. We put a little piece of basic white cardstock inside so we have time to, or space to write. So I still like to do it even if I'm using a white card. So now we have this, we have this. This one is going to go, so you're going to open, kind of open it up. You're going to fold this down and it's going to go right here, just like this. And so when the card opens, it's going to see if I can do it without messing up. It's going to open like this. But this one, so to put this one on, I kind of place it on there, just to kind of see where I'm going. But we are going to put glue on the back of this piece. So this is the back of the card. That's the front. This is the back. I'm shaking my hand again. There we go. I think this might be the last of the glue in this one. Yep, there's a blob. Let's kind of spread that out a little bit. There we go. Need to have that a little. I'm gonna stick my finger in it. I know I shouldn't do that, but I do have little wipes here. For some reason it doesn't want to go up there. All right. So I'm gonna wipe my hand right there. So we have glue on the back. Just gonna kind of close this. I'm just gonna kind of put it in there and just kind of place it so it's centered, top to bottom and side to side. And kind of, I can scoot it over and slide it if I need to because I did use glue. Then I'm just going to open it up and just kind of rub it down. So I think I got it. Nope, so you're a little crooked. We're just going to straighten him up just a tad. So you can see he's kind of even top to bottom and side to side. It goes like that, and there is our card. So you open it, and it opens just like that. So I hope you like that. So just a little fun fold for you. So and I'll show you the one I made earlier, which I didn't show you. It's almost exactly the same. I think the hat's a little different, but there you go. One's a little darker than the other, but now I have 2 birthday cards that I can give out. So there you go. So if you have any questions, just make a comment and let me know if you have questions. If you like this, please like this post or share this with your friends so they can see what they can do with these cute little turtles. Here you go, cute little turtles. And if you don't remember and you want to see the cards again or a little more directions, I also have all the measurements. They'll be over on my blog at www.jumpingintostamping.com. If you would like to order this Turtle Friends and his little matching coordinating punch, you can also do that. There's a link on my blog to go to the shopping page on Stampin' Up! Where you can purchase that or any of the supplies you need to make this card. So I hope you all have a great evening, and just a reminder that I will be back next Thursday for another time of this. So I hope you have a great evening and having fun. And Laura Lee, thanks. I'm looking forward to seeing your card when you get it done. So really excited about that. And thank you for the suggestion of the name of the Therapy Thursday, because I think that might be what I'm going to call this day. So join me next Thursday night at 8 o'clock, and we'll be making another card and sharing what we make. Have a good evening. Good night.